one of the things, I've talked to a couple different people about it here. So take a small pest control company.
Yep.
Okay. And you're a single operator, two-man show, whatever it is, small operator. And you're looking at that, you're putting in the labor for those first 5 years. You're trying to grow to that second phase in the business. What are 3 things that any young operators that are watching, what are 3 things that you would say from early on, you need to structure these 3 things appropriately? So what are 3 things that you would tell somebody, get these organized, and then it's not going to make sense to you right now, but 5 years from now, and you hit that second growth phase where you're actually starting to scale, having these things in order is going to give you a massive head start?
Yeah, so I think it's a really great question. So like if I took a business, call it a 2-man operation, 3-man operation, and we said, hey, give me the 3 things that I would do right now, or I need to think about into the future, and did nothing else. And I've said this so many times to people, it's very straightforward. So the very first thing that I would do is that I would have a deep understanding of what an organizational chart looks like for a company that's larger than me. And I would know my math. And so let's keep it really simple. If I'm a 2-man operation with me as a leader, right, we can generate probably 750,000 in that business at some area of like maybe inefficient, right? But I would understand what a 1.5 and a $2 million organizational chart looks like, and I would design it. So let's keep it very simple. If I'm an owner, I have 8 technicians, a service manager, and a CSR, is like, I am a $2 million plus organization. And so I would do nothing but build to that model based on the math. So I would say 2 million divided into the number of customers that I need per route, divided into whatever the revenue is, equals this. I would figure that out, and I would not deviate from that at all. That'd be number 1. The second thing I would do is I would not chase any shiny objects. You guys have heard David talk about this forever.
Yeah.
The number 1 thing that I think businesses really struggle with in our industry is they find the thing they think fixes all their problems and they buy it. It doesn't work, then they buy the next one. It doesn't work, they buy the next one. And what I say it all the time and it drives everyone crazy, but you buy whatever you buy it once and use it and become great at using it, and don't deviate for years down the road until it's time to deviate on whatever that is.
Right.
Because nothing's gonna be a secret sauce in this industry. Third thing, might be a 2-part thing. The third thing is understand marketing and understand what marketing is, because in our industry, unfortunately, it's too easy to go buy a cheap marketing agency that is just taking your money. And if you don't understand how to hold that company accountable, that you will never, ever, ever grow your company from a marketing standpoint. And the other side of that is understand your accounting. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but have an understanding of accounting. Like, what is profit? How is it calculated? What is gross margin? So I think it may be 4 things, but if a company is a 2-man, 3-man operation and they want to go to 2 million, if they do that, only focus on that and how a lead equals a sale, they will get to $2 million fairly quickly.
So when would you bring in more in-depth, like KPI analytics? When would you start digging deeper into the numbers? Like at what gross revenue figure do you feel like it becomes really important to start looking at the KPIs, looking at the numbers, and making sure that the company is running at a high efficiency rate, not just a high gross revenue rate?
Another very simple answer. So if you think about it, you want to, it depends on what you want your business to be. And so if you want your business to be a high growth company, is that you focus on things that are going to make it grow, which is get more customers, because you can always become more operationally efficient.
Right.
And so I'd rather build a company a little recklessly, let it grow to a certain size, than make it operationally efficient. If you need to make money, is that you have to understand what that looks like. And so if you need money to actually live, which some people do and some people don't, understand what that money is, and then backtrack your business into what that profit looks like so you can actually live comfortably. And then what I say is just, you build them to the size that you want, to the income level that you want to have, and that makes you happy. So, Jonas did a great job today describing, making 300,000, making 500,000, making $1 million. And owners automatically go, oh, I want to make $1 million a year. But the reality is like, when you're making $500,000 a year, like in most markets, you're rich. And if you know what to do with your money, like, you'll never work another day in your life if you're making $500,000 a year. If you're making $300,000 a year and you know what to do with your money, you'll never work a day in your life after a few years.
Right.
And so I think people have to make that decision. Yeah. So I appreciate taking it out, man.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always is.
Hey, Jack Searles, the man.
Thank you.